have your code and your ticker on this network, and you can't stop it from being traded.
Right.
And so there's a derivative, and then if there's liquidity bonding the prices together, so if, let's say you have Chainlink on Ethereum, and then after launch, price bounces around a while, but I bet that over time that these prices will move similarly.
Right.
I think that the Link ticker on Pulsechain is likely to move similarly to the Link ticker on Ethereum.
Right. Just because of the bridge, right? And
well, because they're bonded by the liquidity.
Right.
And then it's the same code with the same ticker. Now, do you want to pay $100 or $300 to trade it on Ethereum, or do you want to pay a penny to trade it over here? And we already know this answer because they're doing it on other networks as well.
Yeah.
People do trading on alternate networks, and then we're the one that you don't like. Your coins are already here. You don't even have to bridge over.
Right.
You've already got your free coins here. You can already access them by changing one setting in your MetaMask. It's awesome.
Dude, it sounds
it
sounds pretty awesome.
Well, that's the trick.
Already,
that's the magic. Is you launch this whole network with all these new coins. How do you get those new coins to be valuable?
Right.
But by not letting anyone ever stop the trading, by having the same tickers, and by giving people a reason to back the value of the things they got free.
Right.
By rewarding them with a yield farming token. It's like a giant vampire attack, basically. It's a giant vampire attack.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another day on Pulsechain. We're going to talk a little bit about what will make your Pulsechain crypto portfolio do very well and basically pump. So we're going to talk about that a bit today. Obviously, let's get into the house. We got Lives Beneath. How are you today? Very good. It is currently what we call Waitangi Day, which is a town up in the northern part of New Zealand. And we have a treaty that is being celebrated there, and of course it's a good times that we're having here in the country, nice and sunny, and of course people get to celebrate the unity of the people and of course prosperity and all the rest of it. So it's kind of a cool day, good old Waitangi Day, and it's a day off for everybody. So everyone loves day off, and it's sunny outside, so it's a kind of a win-win. We got Lives Beneath the Truth there, Hex, EHEX, PLS, PLSX, in the center for the win, 100%. That is the golden crypto strategy. We're going to talk more about that, definitely in terms of what will pump your crypto bags. You can't miss out on that strategy, can you? We got Sandy Beach in the house there with the health and fitness update. Good to see you, Sandy, and keep up the push-up challenge, a workout tweet above push-up challenge day number 5. I know there's several of you doing that push-up challenge, so congratulations. Check my pulses. Good evening, man. 70 to 73 days, still Bitcoin happening. I have it a little bit low. We're going to look at that a bit later there, check my pulse. So we might be looking at different countdowns. Sandy Beach in the house here. Hello, everybody. What's up, everybody from Check My Pulse? We got Archie in the house there. Hi, all. Good to see you, Archie. Let me see who else has jumped in here. JC in the house there, watching from Puerto Rico. Hey, JC, appreciate it. Big shout out to you. Welcome. Let's see. I think that's it. Let's get straight into it, shall we? Get into the stock market update, get into crypto, and into the pulse chain. I think that's how we rock and roll it. And bam, let's go. So the stock market there pulled back today. Dow ends lower as rising bond yields, and of course, let's get into it. So we've got Dow Jones down 0.7%, 274 points, down to 38,380. We've got the S&P 500 down 0.32%. 16 points to 4,942, and the Nasdaq is down 0.2%, 31 points to 15,597 there. So cool off in the stock market. The US dollar up slightly there to 104.3. It's looking pretty strong, hasn't it? Been pretty steadily strong there, US dollar. Let's jump into the commodities. West Texas at the moment is at $72.74, and Brent oil is at $77.93 per barrel. So there we are. Gold at $2,041, pretty flat as well. Silver down a little bit there, 5 cents to $22.38. And of course, silver's waiting for, the interest rate pivot and the US dollar capitulation, devaluation, and that will make those really rocket. So keep an eye out on that in the future. Treasury yields rise after Powell signals patience on cuts. In other words, rates will stay up for longer. In an interview on Sunday with CBS 60 Minutes, that on Sunday, Powell told the news program that a resilient U.S. economy can give Fed officials more time to take a prudent approach to possible benchmark interest rate reductions. However, some people hold a different view, of course. People talking about big layoffs coming up and obviously recession potentially by the end of the year, obviously. But so far, the US economy has been more resilient than expected. Powell added that he would like to see the data confirm that inflation, the major focus of an aggressive series of Fed policy tightening that has pushed borrowing costs up to more than 2-decade highs, is cooling back down. The central bank stated 2% in a sustainable way. Well, we have seen it move back down quite dramatically, and I'm sure it's going to do it probably by the middle of the year. The cautious view on rate cuts pushed Treasury yields higher as bets on rate cuts were reined in, and Treasury is now pricing in a 16% cut in March. So not going to happen probably. Well below the 80% peak seen earlier in the year, and now so basically the markets pivot, right? They think they believe the Fed's going to keep the rates up for longer. So there we go. And now just see 5 cuts for the year compared to 6 cuts. So when we do get to that interest rate pivot, people are expecting less, only 5 rate cuts this year, not 6. The rate-sensitive United States 2-year yield and the benchmark 10-year yield, which typically move inverse to prices, were higher following Powell's comments. So there we are. That is it. We're not going to talk about McDonald's, even though I know some of you eat at McDonald's. So the next meeting there is going to be the Fed rate monitor. It is in 6 weeks and 1 day and 18 hours. So we've got a long way to go. It's a big gap between the Federal Reserve meetings, 6 weeks, and it's probably going to be a no, not really that interesting. We're expecting a no change in the interest rates. May at the moment, we're still expecting, over 1/3, still expecting a no change in interest rates in May. And I really do think that maybe June is going to be the earliest we're going to get that. We got 92.8% of the 92.8% of the market is expecting a rate pivot by June. I think that's probably a reasonable date there for that one. All right, so that moves us into the crypto, a BTC at the moment, 42,665. So stock market might be down a bit, but Bitcoin is looking nice and green, holding up pretty well actually where we are. Ethereum there at 2,299. That is up a 30% as well. Everything is looking pretty green for the most part. XRP down just slightly at the moment. That's kind of cool. Let's move on to Bitcoin. And specifically, we can see this yellow line is the 50 EMA, and we are holding up above it quite nicely. It doesn't look sharp. We had that big sort of hyper rally. Back down here, in 15th of October, we were down at 26,800. It was a very sort of annoying kind of zone. Then we busted through it. Look, busted 1, 2, 3 times. And of course, we've just cooled off here, but staying above 50 EMA, very, very strong sign here for Bitcoin. Now, let's add in the overlays. And of course, we've got the Bitcoin halving here. I've got the Bitcoin halving here on the 15th of April. That's based on the nice hash Bitcoin halving countdown, which keeps moving around. It keeps moving around. This thing moves around all the time. But here we are, 71 days and 6 hours. So it's pretty similar there. And this got the 17th of April. Actually, I got the 15th there, haven't I? So that was the 15th just before I looked at it. But now it's got the 17th. So we'll have to move that to the 17th. That's probably closer to check my pulses number now. So there we are. That is the countdown at the moment. All right. So looking good. And of course, we're getting closer and closer and closer all the time. So let's now we've updated that. It's 72 days. So they're 72 days away. So getting very close indeed. The other one, of course, is that we may have Protodank sharding in March, and then in May we may have the Ethereum ETFs as well. So kind of good, going good, pretty good there for the old Bitcoin. But let's have a look at the Bitcoin news. So Bitcoin ETFs see $700 million net inflows as BlackRock Fidelity gains offset the GBTC outflows. So there we go. New US Bitcoin ETFs have amassed a 7.7 billion in funds since their debut. Remember that the 10th of January, offsetting the 6 billion outflows from incumbents. There we go. So that is the net numbers there, weekly crypto asset flows. And let's get into some of those. So Bitcoin focused investment vehicles received more than 700 million in fresh money last week as inflows to new spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds offset the abating outflows from Grayscale's flagship fund, the GBTC. So we do have to get through all that. BlackRock managed IBTC and Fidelity's FBTC, the two clear leaders among the newly issued spot Bitcoin ETFs, booked 884 million and 674 million in the weekly inflows, respectively. Both figures were slightly higher than the week before in dollar terms. So that's kind of good news. Meanwhile, investors withdrew some 927 million from the GBTC, so we've still got that drainage going on there. A notable drop from the previous week's 2.2 billion bleed. So while it's still bleeding some money, it has dropped for the time being, although we may see that spark up again with the old Genesis coming up there at, potentially selling as well. We got, so there is the natural inflows there from all the ETFs there, all the key ones. And you can see we've got year-to-date flows 1.5, almost $1.6 billion there at the moment. Assets under management, almost 53 billion US dollars there. So there we go. Data highlights a significant reduction in the momentum of these outflows in recent weeks. And of course, outflows from existing Bitcoin funds like GBTC have been a source of concern over the past weeks as spot Bitcoin ETFs started trading on the US on the January 11th after a short lived wave of withdrawals, mostly related to profit taking, and the FTX selling GBTC holdings, which triggered all that sell off there, as well as the sell the news event. Outflows have slowly slowed, while inflows to new entrants remain consistent. So it's kind of good there. At the end of this week, excuse me, the new Bitcoin ETFs had amassed 7.7 billion funds. So that's kind of good news. And that's where we'll leave it on that one. So that's the Bitcoin news at the moment. Ethereum at the moment is trying to get back over that 50 EMA, having a little fight there at the moment, kind of a little bit of resistance there at the 50 EMA. And that is currently, where is that at the moment? It's currently around about $2,300. We're at 2,297. So just a little bit of resistance there, not quite as strong as the Bitcoin. But hey, look, we're waiting for that next move to the upside. And of course, we've got potentially proto-dank sharding and obviously in March, and the testnet's currently running as well as in May with the ETFs for Ethereum. So fingers crossed on that one. That leads us into Richard Hart. Richard Hart, the man, the myth, and the legend. So what do we got there? We've had a couple of posts today. I really like this, getting regular posts from Richard. Isn't that cool? So yeah, he's put out a bit of warning here about Ethereum. I'm here to protect you from scams again. So he's got a little bit of a few little tricks there for you to use, which is kind of cool. That's from Richard. What else we got from Richard? We got some stuff around the black diamond, the Hex black diamond, isn't it? 555. So yeah, Hex.com diamond. Richard Hart bought the world's largest faceted diamond and renamed it the Hex.com diamond. And of course, it's 555.55 carats and 55 bases honor the Mexican cultural heritage of the 5555 club members and their 5,555 day maximum length stakes. Yes, there's quite a few 5555 tattoos out there too. It was previously called the Enigma diamond. And of course, now you can refer to it as the Hex.com diamond because that's its name. It's not called the Enigma diamond. Even newspapers don't get everything right, but got the name right about 2 years ago. There we go. So some nice stuff there from Richard. Give that a good old retweet there. Yeah, there we go. You can call it the Hex.com space diamond if you wish, which kind of has a catchy sort of phraseology, doesn't it? So that is from Richard. And then, of course, we got this cool one here 4 hours ago. Ethereum, I like protecting you from scams. That's the reason I don't tell you guys about many coins is because so many, very many coins suck. And some super duper Omega suck as well. The history of terrible coins targeting hexagons is crazy. Some are exploited on day one by the devs. Some went to zero and relaunched to die. Some more. There's been so much trash you can't even remember it all. Some coins you can't even find charts anymore. And the no survivor coins. Hex had 4 years of perfect flawless operation. Pulsechain and INC are coming up on 1 year of perfect flawless operation. Go Pulse has cool stats. Now, interesting use there of INC as opposed to PulseX, maybe just be a typo, but typically Richard's pretty intentional. So make of that what you will. A couple of charts there too from a good old Richard there on some of those hashtag rec ones. All right, so that is kind of cool there from Richard. And of course, that leads us into the update for today, day 269. Before we get to that though, let's get into the chat and catch up with a few more comments as we go. I think we got up to that one there. Check my Pulse says the tides are turning on Hex. If you build it, they will come. The world is coming. We are in the best place to be, and we're early. That's right. I'm looking forward to the next bull market, which we just begun. I would say we started probably around November last year. Craig Pitt there. Morning all. Good to see you, Craig. Welcome to the chat there. And got Blobfish King, the emoji king in the house. Looking good. Woohoo! 71 days till Sunderland Wealth Syndrome, says Check My Pulse. Yeah, game on. Even if it starts 30 days after that, it's still game on after the halving there. What else do we got? Wookie in the house there. Wookie is on holiday. Nice one there, Wookie. Yes, it is Waitangi Day in New Zealand. And what else there? Hexavator, hey gang, good to see Hexavator. Welcome to the chat there. And yes, if you want to join the strategy club today, link sign up today with Wookie's amazing link. Nice one there. Sandy Beach says, I still say 2025 for the bull market. Well, I'm talking about potential recession at the end of the year, so it's going to be a tough one there, Sandy. But hey, if Trump gets in, we'll be saved. We'll be saved. All right, let's get back into it. Bam, there we go. So day 269, can you believe it? Pulse at the moment, 000115, down 2.4%, 15% above SAC price. Pulsex at the moment, quadruple 0445, down 4.44%. And the buy and burn is still looking great. 691.5 billion Pulsex is bought up and burned. We're at 3.38% of the public supply. I'll say that one more time. 3.38% of public supply is now bought up and burned, just slowly eating up that public supply. So that's good news for Pulsex as we lead into the bull market. And Incentive token at the moment, $2.45, down 8%. The ratio is what we've been tracking really, 21,379 Pulse at the moment. And of course, if you remember that Richard Hart post that we just looked at, he was highlighting incentive there. And of course, we must be pretty close to 24 million incentive tokens in existence. They're created by the Pulsex farms. So that's where they come into life. At the moment, 118,000 incentive tokens have been burned through the TRH protocol. We are waiting for TRH version 4. They'll burn even more Richard Hart tokens. And of course, that's supposed to be a major upgrade. So we're waiting patiently for that. Hex there, PHEX at the moment, 1.49 cents. That is actually up a little bit today, so it's the only one that's up slightly, 0.58%. So there we go. It's, what's that, 60 100th of a percent, something like that. And the EHEX there is at 78 100th of a penny. The combined price of EHEX and PHEX is 2.26 cents. So just over 2.25 pennies there is the old EHEX there. So that's day 269. Let's quickly look at the charts. Oh, I haven't got them ready. That's bad of me, isn't it? I don't have them ready today. But yeah, still ticking away there, holding the line, hopefully. We want to keep this higher low intact after that big rally. We have got nice support here at 0001,000. That is the mean sacrifice price and the pre-SEC price. So they happen to be the same, which is pretty cool, back on the 31st of July. And we've got nice support in there, but maybe we don't even need that because we might just stay much, much higher where we are at the moment. And of course, the RSI cooled off into 53 down there at the moment, waiting for the MACD to turn as well. That'd might be a nice little signal there for Pulse. And of course, we've got tons of protocols to launch on Pulsechain, and tons of them. So that's going to be bullish for Pulsechain too. Looking at PHEX at the moment, similar story, right, to Pulsechain. And let's move over to the RSI down at 54. So that's pretty much where we are at the moment. We've got a bit of support here at quadruple 4,369. That's with our 3-week moving average in the green line there. We've got a bit of averaging support there. Looking at the horizontal, we've probably got pretty decent support here at 3,300 to 3,200. That's kind of the support line there. It's a long way down from there. I don't think we'll go there. But at the moment, the RSI is at 55. A nice little pullback there at the moment. I guess we've got some bit of support here at what line's that one? I guess we're pretty close to that too. Bit of support at 4,230, and we're at 4,455 there. So there we go on the horizontals. Moving into incentive token at the moment, the ratio, we're at $2.45. The ratio is the one we're really tracking. So let's have a look at that. And there we are, 21,381 at the moment on the old incentive token. And we do have support here at 20,420. That's our next support line there. All right, let's move on and get the PHEX. PHEX at the moment, obviously on the Fibonacci there, we got support at 1.4 cents. And that's kind of where we are at the moment. I think we got support at 1.4 cents. That'd be 50 on Fibonacci. And the RSI has cooled off at 47. So I think that's all looking pretty good. Seeing a nice turn in the MACD down here would be nice just to top that off. But that's kind of where we are at the moment. So 1.4 cents would be nice support at the moment. Kind of tested it back here on the 24th and looked good. So there we go. EHEX at the moment also, we had a bearish cross. Remember on the EMA cross there? Hopefully that's going to be a bit of a fake out. At the moment, we're getting support at the 50 Fibonacci there at a 77 hundredths of a penny. We're currently at 78 hundredths of a penny. So we're really getting tested that support there. We've got quite a few days we've tested that. So we do have a bearish cross, but maybe this will just be a fake out given our horizontal support. That's kind of where we're at the moment. The RSI is definitely cooled off, right? 46. So I think that's probably looking like the support zone there at the 77 hundredth of a penny. Looking good. All right. That is pretty much on the charts. Let's go to the validators. We're at 52,753 validators, 1.69 trillion pulse off the market. So that's kind of good. Looking at the gas prices. We're pretty much back down to normal there. 185,000 beats, 0.8 of a penny for a Pulsechain swap, 400th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, and 1/10 of a penny for a PSC20 transfer. We're 1,950 times cheaper than Ethereum. $15 to do a swap on Ethereum at the moment. Obviously, we've just come off that lazy weekend, and we had pretty low GWEI yesterday because it was Sunday in the US, and the GWEI got down. I saw it down at 10.55 GWEI, so that was pretty cheap. We're 6,300 times cheaper than Bitcoin at the moment. So way to go, $2.80 to do a BTC transfer. Pretty much cheaper than everybody else, with maybe the exception of Polygon. But of course, we have so many protocols that do profit sharing and compounding. It really is the sweet spot for cheap and fast blockchains. That leads us into the bridge. Let's see how much money is over on the bridge at the moment. 122.5 million. And we were down. I think we got as high as 125.9. I think it was when I saw. That was several days ago. So we'll just ease off a little bit there, but still up about 40, maybe $50 million on our lows. So that's not too bad at all. All right, let's jump over to, let's actually go to the lock coins. The lock coins there, liquid loans has got 1.11 trillion pulse locked in it. So that's awesome, right? So liquid loans doing well there, locking away pulse off the market as well. So we're sitting at about 17.5, 18.5, maybe % off the market through all these protocols there. We're about to start day 270. Can you believe it? So that's another day in the office. Before we do that, though, let's get into the other categories. So we've got the top PRC20s we're going to look at, top memes, and, of course, Pulsechain projects. And we're going to highlight some of those that maybe you could consider for your portfolio to pump your bags in the bull market that's, just sort of warmed up since November. We'll get into that. So Hexvader says, Hexvader wants to visit the Outback. To be like the man from the Snowy River. And Check My Pulse says 2024 will be the big year. I will take profits, DCA out at milestones to live off the yield, says Check My Pulse. There we go. That's some smart money right there. All right, let's get back into it. So top PRC20s, let's have a look how they're going. PDI holding up there at that 2,000 mark, looking pretty good. Actually, let's get off the Tropa version. Let's go to the Pulse version and look at this. So this is the weekly candles. Look at that. Does that look pretty good for PDI? I think that looks pretty good. It is overbought here, so it's got to cool off. So exactly, this might just taper down. We'll have a look at this as sort of a turning point here. I probably will taper down as my guess and have on the third, maybe to come back, it's down much higher, and then go for gold after that. It's kind of where that looks looking at the moment on PDI. Everything's pretty much down, so I'm not going to get too much into all these top PRC20s today. Everything's pretty much down. So let's, when things are down, maybe there's an opportunity in certain ones of them. You can always check that out. Let's go to memes. We're looking by liquidity, right? So liquidity, we can see that everything's pretty much down here at the moment. I'm just looking through some of these, see if there's any outstanding ones there. No, they're all pretty much down. Ben from BitBoy, that's a very low liquidity. That's up 36%, but very low liquidity on that one. So they're all kind of down at the moment. Let's see which is down the most. Let's have a look here. No, they're all pretty much down. So Trump and Duck, all these little meme coins, down. Let's get to the main event then. Pulsechain projects, category number 4. And at the moment, let's have a look here. We're looking by liquidity. So at the moment, we've got Helgo is pretty much flat. 9-inch there, and ETH is on Ethereum is up 1% there. We got Mintra. Mintra there is the standout today. So one of our top 6 NFT marketplaces. Remember, we're still waiting for Pixel Park to launch from Power City, but Mintra is up. So $250,000 in liquidity, almost 26% gain. That was down yesterday, if I remember rightly, but is up today. Yeah, look at that. So it's up today. Real bounce back there. Down, it was at 001989. So kind of cool. All right, what else is looking good there? Everything's down quite dramatically. Now, yesterday we had beetroot down dramatically. So this is what the talk of the town was. We had a giant big wick. Look at that wick. Wow. So I guess the big whale sold that down. Liquidity is still at 143K. But man, is that a big whale? I haven't looked to see whether anyone's saying a chain analysis or anything. Let us know in the chat there if you've heard anything. But look at that yesterday on beetroot, the privacy hub, right? Privacy hub. That's pretty dramatic. Let's have a look at the hourly on this chart. That is the hourly. Look at that. I'm going to get rid of the volume bars. Let's get rid of the volume bars so you can see the bottom of that wick. Look at that bottom of that wick. Got as low as, what's that, 6 zeros? Let me just pull that up there. Got as low as, I think that says 6 zeros. Can't really see the font. It's a bit small. But 9,426. That's pretty low. So is that 5 zeros? Yeah, sorry, I cannot read that properly, but maybe 5 zeros, 9,700 there. Just can't read that. I made a lot of zeros. Yeah, I think it's 5 zeros, 9,759. So there we go, 9,500. Yeah. All right, let's just say got down to 5 zeros, 9,500. It's back at 3 zeros. So there's some pretty mad gains to be made from that. If you could catch it. So pretty massive gains there. 11x, 12x on that. If you managed to pick the bottom there. Even if you picked down here, it would have been pretty mad gains, which would have been, 284% inside a day. That's not bad, 2/3 of a day. So nice little recovery there and back up again. So I know someone that definitely picked it up pretty cheap, so they're pretty happy. And man, always opportunities, right? Always opportunities. Now to get back to where it was, we've still got a little bit of move on. Still got how much? 76% sitting there. So if you're a believer, which I would say so, beetroot's one of our better utilities, and that's a nice little move to the upside. Let's add back in that volume so we can see the volume there. Look at that, hardly very little volume down here, and suddenly massive volume, 144,000, then $102,000 next to it. Some big moves and $100,000 candles coming in there for at least 5 of them in a row. So so there we go on beetroot. Liquidity still looking strong though. All right, that is neat. I haven't really looked much further into that, but that is what some of the drama was with the beetroot wick. So we'd had to talk about that briefly at least. Pulse kitten down 20% there. Pulse LN down 20% here. This might be an opportunity too. So nice little wick down there after the big rally. Actually wick down to 1.7 cents now, back at 2.4. Those are some of the ones, big actions there happening today. What else there? I think that's kind of it at the moment. Communist up 14%. Communist doing pretty well there. Texan token up 10% as well. That is kind of the highlights there. So in terms of looking at for portfolios for tokens that will pump your crypto bags on Pulsechain, if we're looking at utilities, right? So definitely all these, most of these, not all these projects, but most of them add some sort of utility, and then add sort of that would generally mean that they're going to be probably more sustainable in terms of either generating income and or just the value of the token itself. So we've definitely got some here. At the top here, we've got Watt token. That's definitely one you could consider to pump your bags. Now, Watt token there is the Power City Watt token. Obviously, that's one of the biggest ecosystems on Pulsechain, and they've still got to launch most of their products. They have one, obviously, Portal X, one of the top DEX aggregators launched at the moment, and then, of course, they have 5 other protocols that are going to be launching, and it's going to be one of the big blue chip heavyweights. So Watt tokens are definitely a must if you're looking for the top blue chips to consider in your portfolio, especially for the bull market. Watt token is one of those. Pulse pot there, if you like crypto casino, that's definitely more riskier, but definitely performing very well at the moment. But that's not the one I want to talk about in particular. Watt token there, so Power City. Tetra is another one that you could consider having as well. So that is currently Tetra looking pretty good. Tetra obviously is in the more speculative, but the DeFi and innovation space. So definitely something to potentially consider there. They have V2, V3 DEX, the only one with limit orders on Pulsechain at the moment, or PulseX. And of course, they also They also have multiple protocols coming up that are going to be able to do Web3 interactions, automating strategies, interacting with contracts on the blockchain directly, things like that. So they've got a lot of cool stuff. Definitely, if you're thinking about high-end risk, but certainly good sort of quality projects, Tetra is another one to consider. So we've got Power City, we've got Tetra. ZKZX could be a wild card too, the Tornado cash there. Obviously, some people with some pretty bullish price targets for ZKZX. It's only just launched, so you can see on the daily just launched there, but that's a Tornado Cash privacy hub, let's say Tornado Cash anonymous transactions. So that's definitely one to potentially consider. They have a burn as well. Kind of cool there. Patias, of course, the big DEX aggregator, dominating volume, not just Power City, but obviously Patias there. And they're also going to be adding more products in the future. So that's looking bullish. They're just trying to get raise funds for that and all that sort of stuff. But that is definitely coming up. You can see the chart has priced it up pretty well already. So definitely you could consider having some of this in your portfolio. At the moment, it's currently got a market cap 6.1 million. Now, what else we got going here? Loan Token, of course, the big blue chip, the big juggernaut, the biggest project outside of Pulsechain. That's another one you could consider having in there, Loan Token. And of course, it's earning pretty incredible yield at the moment on the old liquid loans. So let's have a look at some of that. Let's go to the protocol. And let's bring some of that yield up at the moment. So yeah, the yield at the moment, stability pool, 101% is what the yield is at the moment. Pretty amazing. And the loan yield for staking is 60% at the moment. So some really incredible performance there at the moment. Total TVL locked for Pulse is 127 million. And they have almost 32 million in USDL supplied. So doing incredible is the old liquid loans there. So definitely the number one blue chip at the moment on Pulsechain. So it's another one you could consider. And the price come down a bit there. So you're getting a little bit of a better entry as well. All right. What else? There's another one there. We talked about Beetroot. So the privacy hub, the one we just talked about with the big price flash crash, definitely one to consider in your portfolio. That is a privacy hub. Got lots of different swapping protocols and utilities on it. Single side staking for Richard R tokens as well. So it's not bad. What else there? We're going to come back to Time Token. It's a bit more exotic, but definitely has potential. Definitely been moving. But we're just kind of looking for the sort of blue chips at the moment. Let me just come back to that. Hocus Pocus is doing pretty well at the moment, so it's kind of up in there too. It's in sort of next level, but it's sort of doing quite well also. Let me just jump through some of these. Weight Token from Coast, so the fiat on-ramp to Pulsechain, definitely one you could consider having in your portfolio. Currently at 0.0014 cents, so it's definitely something to consider. Any sort of a blue chip pump your bags type of portfolio. And that is the fiat on-ramp there. I think they're on-ramped about 4 million, maybe so dollars. And of course, accesses to something like 99 countries in the world. Definitely that's definitely something to consider. The Weight Token from Coast. Pulse LN is another one, of course. The on-ramp to Pulsechain with the Bitcoin Lightning Network, and you can sort of see it's already starting to get priced up, breaking into new territory, new range here, just getting a bit of profit taking here. But definitely keep an eye on the RSI as well. That could be something that could continue just to break up to higher levels. 2.4 million market cap at the moment. So Pulse LN, definitely something to consider there for the on-ramp, off-ramps. I guess any of the PH Universe projects are good, or the combination of all of them. You got Fame, you got Fiat. So Fame is a fork of Balancer. Fiat is a fork of Aave. So any of those there. PHUX down here as well. You get a combination of that. That's a fork of sorry, let me just reframe that. PHUX is a fork of Balancer, and Fame is a fork of GMX. So, and Fiat there is a fork of Aave. So those three very powerful forks over on Pulsechain. A combination of all those together, part of the PH ecosystem. They'll all be good ones to pick up in your portfolio, and maybe in different percentages. But you can go to PHUX directly and just invest in all of them at once, just using one of the index pools on PHUX. That's a definitely possibility there. Just looking through some of these others here. Yeah, those are kind of the blue chips there at the moment on the Pulsechain. that you could consider picking up as part of your blue chip portfolio. Now, we're also going to talk about some of these more exotic ones like Time Token. If you wanted to take a bit more risk, but potentiality could be pretty big, particularly if you stake it, you earn share of the swapping fees, then Time Token would be another good one to get in there. And of course, the team has proven itself to be doing a great job. So that is the Time Token. See, the market's already pricing it up there. Just take that into account when considering adding it to your portfolio if you haven't already. But you do earn a share of the swapping fees, and they do tend to be going up on Pulsechain, which has been quite good. Check out the website and the data for that. But you can sort of see that evidence there. Hocus Pocus is another one too. You could definitely consider potentially adding to your portfolio with their finance offering, their DeFi offering. What else I was just going to look at there? Goat, if you want to get into NFT validating on Pulsechain, then Goat is a token that allows you to do that with the NFTs and the Goat token. So it's definitely something to think about. It's like NFTs on Pulsechain doing validating. So there's definitely another one there. What was the other one I was talking about earlier that I was sort of passed by quickly? Let me just go back up here, actually. Yeah, I think that was it, really. So those are the ones that you could consider pulling in at all Pulsechain projects at the moment into your portfolio. Go through one by one and see what you like about it, see whether it's overvalued, undervalued. At the moment, obviously, I can consider all of them will just continue to go up in value in the bull market quite dramatically. And some of them may also outperform the Richard Hart tokens. So that's definitely plausible as well. So that's kind of the ones there for that. Let's jump back out at the moment. And we're going to get back into the Hex stats here. I think we're way too early, though. Yeah, we're way too early for Hex. But check out hex.com anyway. You'll be able to buy Hex and stake it and start mining more Hex, which is one of the Richard Hart's blue chip tokens there. Yeah, we might be way too early for the Hex daily stats today. But definitely it's exciting times. Getting paid. We love it. All right, let's get back into it. I think we're probably going to be way too early today. Yeah, way early. I've sort of finished my lineup for today. Let's see here else here. We got the European whale in the house here. Greed is good, says European whale. Well, it is what capitalism is about, isn't it? If you've heard about the invisible hand, and then it's people's self-interest makes them do things, and if they do things, they will get paid for it. Then they'll be a public good for everybody, right? So that's kind of the idea. I think we will be in for big surprises this year. Can't wait. We've been waiting patiently to check my pulse. I like what you're saying there. 10x users equals 100x price, says check my pulse. And the tides are turning. Word's getting out. Spread the word. There's a revolution coming, and it's True DeFi, brought to you by Richard Hart. How about that? I like that. Have a great rest of the streams, Hex Token. You too, Sandy Beach. Enjoy your press ups. Real crypto, the way it was intended, said check my pulse. Absolutely. And we've got Tintop in the house as well. What's up? What's up, Hexkins? Good to see you, Tintop. Welcome to the chat there. We are super early. I have finished so fast today. It is a holiday here in New Zealand. We have got Waitangi Day, and we're celebrating, the oneness of the people. That's the idea, the spirit of the day. And yeah, that is kind of cool. I think that's it. So yeah, we probably won't be able to do the Hex Day stats today because we're way too early, but we'll try and cover them tomorrow in any case, and we'll give you a double day update. How about that? Day 1526 for Ethereum and day 1527 tomorrow. That would be pretty cool. Now we're going to wrap up here. It's almost 40 minutes. It's a really short show today, but I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you got some ideas out of the top blue chips, out of all the Pulsechain projects that you could consider having in your portfolio. And of course, sometimes you can also just go to PHUX and get in some of their indexes. They have multiple tokens in some of those pools. That's another alternative way of thinking about getting, blue chip portfolio. And of course, that doesn't include, putting some money aside if you so choose to do more risk taking and more riskier projects. But definitely, as much as the utilities and blue chips go, that was a pretty good summary of some of the better ones there. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed it today. Let's play out some cool thing on the way out, since we're doing a very short show today. Let's find here. We're going to play out. Which will we play this one? No, we won't play that video. Let me find a good one here. We'll go to that there. What else have we got on here? We'll do the Magic Carp Ride. I really do like the Magic Carp Ride. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and I'll catch you guys again tomorrow with more great news from Pulsechain. Hopefully, we're going to get the next project launching. Hopefully, will be Magic Carpet Ride itself. So MCR 369 currently on testnet. We covered that in full yesterday, as well as we covered 2 ecosystems yesterday, didn't we? I think we covered Power City. We covered Jacob's ecosystem either yesterday or the day before. We covered Magic Carpet Ride yesterday. So I think that was kind of what we did there. All right, take care, everybody. See you in Discord. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.